Hi everyone, in this video we are going to learn about the subjunctive with adjective clauses, el subjuntivo con cláusulas adjetivales. You can find this information on pages 126 and 127 of the textbook Exploraciones. So let's begin by defining adjective clauses. Adjective clauses are dependent clauses that describe a noun. So for example, in this English sentence, the underlined words that describe a noun are actually an adjective clause because they answer the question, what kind of clauses? They describe the noun clauses. In Spanish, adjective clauses often begin with the words que or quién. So, if we are speaking about something that we know is true or that we believe does exist, we use the indicative form of the verb that we use with the adjective clause. For example, if we say, hay personas valientes que luchan por los derechos humanos, we believe this statement is true. It's not in question. So, with our adjective clause que, we are going to use the indicative form of the verb luchan. In the same way, if we say, tenemos partidos políticos que no están de acuerdo en nada, we believe this statement is true. It's not in question to us. So we are going to use the indicative form of the verb están. And finally, busco a la persona que me dio este panfleto religioso. I'm looking for this person who gave me this religious pamphlet. I know this person exists because he or she gave me the pamphlet. Their existence is not in question, so we're going to use the indicative form dio. However, if we are using an adjective clause to talk about something that is not true or does not exist, or we believe it does not exist, we are going to use the subjunctive. For example, queremos una gobernadora que sea abnegada. We want a governor who is selfless, but we don't know if she exists, we don't know if there is one, so we use the subjunctive sea instead of the indicative es. And in the same way, existe un héroe que nos pueda rescatar. I don't know if there's a hero who can rescue us. That's why I'm asking. So his or her existence is in question. So we use the subjunctive pueda instead of the indicative puede. And finally, no hay nadie que sepa arreglar este carro. I'm saying that there's nobody who knows how to fix this car. I'm saying it for certain, but I believe that that person does not exist. I believe that that person does not exist, so I use the subjunctive sepa instead of the indicative sabe. However, if we have a specific person in mind, we are going to use the indicative form. Going back to our governor, if we say we need the governor who is strong, necesitamos el gobernador, we are going to use es, the indicative es, because we have a specific person in mind. Your clue here is this is the specific article el instead of the unspecific article un. So we have a specific governor in mind, so we use the indicative es and not the subjunctive sea. However, if we say necesitamos un gobernador que fuerte, we need a governor who is strong. In this case, we are going to use the subjunctive sea because we don't know if a strong governor exists or not. We're saying we need one, but we don't know if he exists. So we use the subjunctive. Also, when we ask about the existence of someone or something, we are also going to use the subjunctive. For example, ¿hay alguien aquí que apoye al gobierno? Is there anyone here who supports the government? Obviously, I'm not sure. That's why I'm asking. So I'm going to use the subjunctive apoye instead of the indicative form apoya. And ¿conoces a alguien que esté involucrado en el tráfico de drogas? Do you know anyone involved in drug trafficking? obviously I don't know if that person exists. I don't know if you know someone like that. So I'm going to use the subjunctive este instead of the indicative está. And that's it. Also, when we make a negative statement, a statement of denial about something or someone, we also use the subjunctive. No hay nadie que siga las leyes de tráfico. There's no one who follows the traffic laws. I'm sure about this. I'm sure that no one exists. I'm making this negative statement, no hay nadie. So I'm going to use the subjunctive siga instead of the indicative sigue. In the same way, in this sentence, no conozco a nadie que quiera derrocar al rey. I don't know anyone who wants to overthrow their king. This is a negative statement. I'm saying it for certain that I do not know anyone who wants to overthrow the king. So I'm going to use the subjunctive quiera and not the indicative quiere. Okay, so let's take a little quiz to review the uses of the subjunctive and the indicative tense with adjective clauses. So our first sentence here is, I want a president who is a good leader. Quiero un presidente que, buen líder. So our verb here that we're working with is ser. So our options are es, son, sella, and sellas. We can get rid of son because that is third person plural, and we're talking about un presidente, one. So third person plural, not going to work for us. Neither is sellas because that is second person singular. So we are left with es or sella. Quiero un presidente que, buen líder. Our clue here is the article un. I'm saying that I want a president, but I do not know if he or she exists, so we are going to use the subjunctive sella and not the indicative es, because I do not know if a president that is a strong leader exists. Next question. There are many people who vote in presidential elections. So we're working with the verb votar. Hay muchas personas que en las elecciones presidenciales. So our options are votamos, vote, votan, and vote. So we can rule out votamos because that is nosotros. And we're talking about hay muchas personas, third person plural. So we can rule out nosotros. We can also rule out vote because that is third person singular. So we are left with a voten and votan. Oops. Oh, I accidentally hit it. Yes, the correct answer is votan. Hay muchas personas que votan en las elecciones presidenciales because we are making a statement that we believe is true. This statement is not in doubt. We believe that it's true, so yes, we are going to use the indicative votan. Okay, we need the candidates that respect the wishes of their voters, of their electorate. Necesitamos los candidatos que, los deseos de sus votantes. We are looking at the verb respetar. So our options are respeten, respetáis, respetan, and respete. So we are working with los candidatos, so we need third person plural. So we can rule out respetáis, which is vosotros. We can rule out respete, which is third person, but it's singular. So we are left with respeten and respetan. So which are we going to use? Our clue here is the article los. Necesitamos los candidatos. We need the candidates. We have specific people in mind. So we are going to use the indicative respetan. Okay, next question. There was nobody who could stop the drug trafficking. No había nadie que parar el tráfico de drogas. We are working with the verb poder. So our options are puede, pudo, pudiera, and pueda. So our clue here is the verb había. It is in the imperfect tense. which is a past tense. So we can rule out puede, because that's present. We can rule out pueda, because that is present subjunctive. So we are either going to go with pudo or pudiera. And we're making a negative statement. We are saying that this person does not exist. So we are going to use the imperfect subjunctive pudiera. Okay, next question. We are asking, are there people who fight for human rights? Hay personas que por los derechos humanos. We're working with the verb luchar, and we're talking about personas, that's third person plural. So we can immediately rule out luchemos, because that's nosotros. We can rule out lucháis, because that is vosotros. So we are left with luchan or luchen. And we are asking, hay personas, are there people? We don't know if those people exist. That's why we're asking the question. So we are going to use the subjunctive luchen, because we don't know if those people exist. So our last question is, no conozco a nadie a quien le la dictadura. I don't know anyone who likes the dictatorship. So our options are gustes, guste, gusta, and gustas. So our subject here is actually la dictadura. So that is third person singular. So we can rule out gustas and gustes, because that's the tu form, not the third person singular. So we are left with guste and gusta. So I don't know anyone who likes the dictatorship. I'm making a negative statement that I do not know anybody, that this person does not exist. So I am going to use the present subjunctive. No conozco a nadie a quien le guste la dictadura. Okay, well done. That concludes our lesson on the imperfect subjunctive. Well done. Have a great day.